How much ever this media mafia may try to attack me, nobody's opinion about me bothers me, because my plus and minus, my gain and loss is no way affected by the opinions of these fellows or the opinions created by these fellows. I am beyond. Even all of them gather together and worship me, they can't add 1 inch to me. Even all of them gather together and abuse me, they can't take away 1 inch from me. Not only that, all the siddhis you are seeing is the garage sale items I brought from Kailasa. It's all garage sale items, not even worthy. But you say, wow, Swamiji can heal, Swamiji heals. The moment he says things materialize, things teleport, wow, he heals them. Whatever he says becomes reality. Everything matters. Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, 51st sutra. In Sankhya Yoga, 51st verse. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi palam tyaktva manishinaha janamabandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchantyanāmayam. The translation says, the wise, having abandoned the outcome of their actions and possessed of knowledge, are freed from the cycle of birth and death. They go to the state which is beyond all sorrow. My own new translation. The living enlightened ones, surrendering the result, performs actions with diligence and discrimination and sets himself free from the bondage of birth and death and reaches the state of supreme well-being. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janamabandha vinirmuktaha patam gacchantyanāmayam. Bhagavan is talking about the science of liberation from birth and death. Somebody asked me the other day, what is the need to get out of birth and death? No problem, come on, enjoy. But I tell you, once you realize the space of freedom, even in a remote possible way, you will understand the ecstasy. See, it's like you are born and brought up in a small Indian village, but suddenly by chance, some fortunate thing, you got a job and you went and settled in US, some country, outside India you became rich. After 25 years, you visit your native place in an unbounded way. See, when you were born and brought up in that place, all the people's opinion about you mattered for your life. It was a bondage. What they think about you matters, how they react with you matters, how you deal with them matters, everything matters. But now you are visiting the same village when nothing matters you. Nothing can disturb you. If you want, you can raise somebody's life to the higher level, but nobody can bring your life to the lower level. When you visit like that to your native village, not only that, you go with extraordinary things your village has never seen. Cameras, even if it is broken one. Cooling glass, used shoes, radios, binoculars, all the used and thrown items, the garage sale items, you buy everything for 50 cents, $1 in a gunny bag from US and carry it to your village and start distributing to all the kids who flock you around and ask, uncle, uncle, what have you brought from US? You are distributing. how your trip is not only liberated, if you want, you can raise them to higher standard, but nobody can bring you down lower standard. I tell you, that is what exactly I feel when I am roaming around in the planet Earth. Nobody can bring me down to their standard. How much ever this media mafia may try to attack me, nobody's opinion about me bothers me, because my plus and minus, my gain and loss is no way affected by the opinions of these fellows or the opinions created by these fellows. I am beyond. Even all of them gather together and worship me, they can't add 1 inch to me. Even all of them gather together and abuse me, they can't take away 1 inch from me. But for me, fortunately, for them, unfortunately, they couldn't touch. Not only that, all the siddhis you are seeing is the garage sale items I brought from Kailasa. It's all garage sale items, not even worthy. But you say, wow, Swamiji can heal, Swamiji heals. The moment he says things materialize, things teleport. Wow, he heals, whatever he says becomes reality. 2 days before an incident, the ashram, they wanted to drill a borewell. They were doing all this water divining and all that. They came and asked me. I said, hey, go and drill anywhere, you will get water, I will take care, don't bother. The moment I put my foot there and said, oh Ganga, come on. Simply the water started gushing. Brahmachari told me, Swamiji, 4-inch water we got. I said, how much is the borewell size? He said, 6.5 inch. Don't bother. One more, Maha Saraswati. Come on, that's all. Whole 6.5 inch water started. Borewell guy was telling that he needs to drill 80 more feet to have enough water storage. I said, don't bother. That's all. The Saraswati started overflowing. Driller, that guy said, no, I can't drill anymore because water is gushing too fast. I am not able to drill further. But I tell you, it is nothing but a 50-cent garage piece from US. How a NRI returns with a garage sale items, and here all that villager fellows are jumping around. Actually, here the garage sale item which you buy for 50 cents, if you give it to one child in that village, forget about how grateful he will be. He will keep it literally in his bedroom and worship it, putting flowers on it every day and wiping it. Same way, what do you think as extraordinary power is just child play of Kailasa, child play of Akshardhama. So understand, only once you realize a liberated way of existing, then you will understand how it feels. Then you will not ask this question, why should we be liberated from birth and death? It's like one guy was imprisoned. For 50 years he was in that same prison, tied with chains. He was only allowed to eat and go for his restroom. After 50 years, he may even forget why he need to leave the prison. It is unfortunate. They may not even have the necessity to leave the prison. They may not even have some other option in their consciousness under consideration. Sometimes I feel very clearly with people, they are so habituated for suffering, they go on, invite it and cherish it, and they don't even know why they should be out of suffering. First, convincing them about that question itself becomes a big job for me. I really feel for the people who ask, why should I be liberated? God. But anyhow, logically I won't be able to convince you why should you be liberated. When you ask you want to be liberated, I can help you. Here Bhagavan is talking about the science of birth and death. Please understand, when you are expanding, every moment you are taking new birth and your old personality is dying, that is liberation. When you are not expanding, even during your regular birth and death, you are not growing, that is bondage. If you are new, every birth and every death, you will see every moment you are taking birth and dying. That is liberation, living enlightenment. If you are not expanding, even your birth and death will not transform you. Even those great big moments are not going to teach you anything. Then you are in bondage. Liberation brings tremendous joy. I can tell you very clearly, all the fellows who try to gang up and abuse me, now only they are feeling missing some great thing in their life. Anyhow, here I have a research report also which shows the birds which have been kept in captivity for since their birth do not know how to fly out even when the cage is open. Of course, I have another opinion for it, because 2 days before my bird flew away, I was presented a parrot by one of our devotees saying that it is not flying at all, Swamiji. Anyhow, I brought and kept that guy in our kitchen. I don't know what food they gave. In one day he ran away. Maybe they have given my diet to that guy. After eating my diet, that bird ran away. In 24 hours. Anyhow. Oh, here is a comment that shows the power of master to liberate. God. I think the power to liberate the parrots are with my cooks and kitchen staff. They have the power and they do something, and the bird which cannot even fly disappears in 24 hours. See, I kept him in open in my room. And he was not only not flying, he was happily moving around. I left one day in kitchen. He was waiting. Actually, when he was in my room, there was no cage. He was just moving around freely. When he was in the kitchen, he was in the cage. He opened the cage and ran away. I don't know the smell of their cooking or the food they gave it to him. I don't know. Anyhow, I tell you, how much ever you are bound, if you are given a strong suffering, then you will naturally work for enlightenment and liberate yourself. If you liberate yourself just from 1 or 2 mental patterns and live, then you will understand power of liberated life. Just yesterday, one of my ashramites, I gave him the great vrata. He has become slowly addicted to eating. Anything appears in front of eyes, he sees only food. And anywhere, any hotel, any gathering, he is so responsible, he will not waste any food. Come on, get it here. And he was slowly almost becoming Gundodara. And I decided, now it is too much. I don't think I will be able to afford. First, spending for food, then spending for doctors. It's too much. I gave him one vrata. But that guy has one great quality. Surrender to me, that feeling connection to me. I gave one vrata, all the snacks he likes, I filled it in one cover and I handed over to him. Whole day, whole night, you have to carry this bag with you, but you can't eat even one bit from it. And that poor fellow was carrying. Whole day he will carry. I don't know what he does during night or when he goes to bathroom. He will be carrying in the hand. All the ashramites will make fun of him, laugh at him. But obediently he carried in his hand. And he will not touch or he will not even look at it, smell it. He will just carry in the hand. And just yesterday he comes back and tells me, Swamiji, not only I am not eating anything other than my meal, even this habit of drinking coffee and tea has disappeared. It is not that I have a craving and I am controlling. No, just it has disappeared. I said, this is what is Agori tapas. See, Agori is design technique based on the problem. They see the problem and do exactly opposite. To handle and break their old mental patterns. The word Agori is completely misunderstood or abused. I tell you, most sensitive, beautiful people I've ever seen in my experience with all the spiritual traditions of different religions, the most sensitive and beautiful people I've ever seen are Agoris. We have a wrong idea about Agoris, that they eat human flesh, they eat dead bodies. We have all wrong ideas. Of course, I'm not going to get into it, whether right or wrong, true or false and all that. Forget about it. I'm not going to create one more controversy. Agori, the very word means sensitive, innocent. Gora means violent, insensitive. I'll make all of you guys understand step by step their lifestyle. I never tasted the human flesh because I don't even touch animal flesh. I don't even take non-veg. So naturally I never saw that side of Agori Sampradaya. Same way I never smoked marijuana because I don't even like ordinary cigarette smoking. I never lived that parts of Agori life, but I know much about those traditions. And I tell you, most beautiful people, most sensitive people I have seen in my life are Agoris. So alive. I have seen some of those Agoris. You will fall in love, actually, when you see an Agori sitting with himself. Whether you are a man or woman, whether the person is man or woman, the sensitivity and that ecstasy and that joy oozing out, I have seen first time with a normal eyes, the light coming out of skin only on Agoris. Light coming out of skin, that shining, that sensitive, that innocent. Still I can remember some of them who I saw. They usually use black color. With just one black color kambal, blanket, this Baba was sitting near the Harishchandra Ghat, not Manikarnika Ghat, near the Harishchandra Ghat in Varanasi. Like a small child, the way his whole body was resting, the way it was sturdy. Sturdy and resting. Aghoris have this kind of tapas methods. If you are against something, they will exactly give that as a technique. If you are suffering with some pattern, they will exactly give that same as a technique. Yesterday night, Ashramite came and told me in the Ashramite meeting, Swamiji, I am free now. The very craving has disappeared. I was so happy. I blessed him, all right, now you don't need to carry. Surrender the bag, snack bag. And it has gone to another one brahmachari. I tell you, how many years it would have taken if he has struggled on his own to get out of this pattern. I don't know how many years it would have taken. Sometimes it even takes janmas when you try to get out of certain pattern on your own. Forget about years. Sometimes it takes janmas. But just this one technique is out of that whole pattern once for all in 10-15 days. So I tell you, if you are liberated from some patterns, then you will understand the necessity for liberation. Most important, strongest pattern with which you are suffering is taking birth and getting into death. Birth and death is the worst pattern with which you are suffering. Another one person gave me a letter. I have too much of emotional suffering. Give me a way for death. You don't understand. Birth and death is the worst pattern. Then all your depression, ups and downs. Birth and death is the worst pattern any beings go through. How beings live. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishinaha januma bandha vinirmuktaha padam kachyantyanāmayam. Very rarely Aghoris come to South India, but I have seen one Aghori in Tiruvannamalai covering whole body with vibhuti and only one blanket. Only one cowpea, one blanket, black blanket, that's all. He'll wear one black cowpea, black blanket. He will be just walking around. Because he's covering himself with a black blanket, you will feel he's a beggar, you see, from outside. One day he was walking, he had some 5-6 dogs, like his pet. They'll always be with him and eat with them only. And they are like his bodyguards, friends, whatever you call it. Partners, disciples, whatever you want you can call. Whatever food he gets, he will put it in the ground only. He will just clean the ground and put the whole food. He will eat one side and all that 5-6 dogs will eat with him together. I always used to see him while he is walking around here and there inside the city. But first I thought he's a beggar. Once when he was walking, one dog which was around him playfully pulled his blanket. And he was standing only with a cowpea. I just looked at him. I was shocked literally to see light coming out of his skin. Literally light coming out of his skin. It was evening, so I could see very clearly. And the grace of that body, God. I was shocked because the whole face is covered with a long beard and the bhasma. Half face is covered with the beard And the little bit of other areas he has covered with ashes, that sacred ash. The ash he collected from the fire, burning of the dead bodies. I thought, oh God, what is this? Is it somebody else's body and with somebody else's head? I ran and touched his feet and said, Baba, I thought you are a beggar. Only now I realized you are a Siddha Purusha, Sadhu. Bless me and give me some teaching. And he was laughing. Maybe I think he may not have understood Tamil. I was speaking in Tamil, but he understood the spirit. Of course, he did not answer me. He just smiled at me and he was having some biscuits to give it to those dogs. He gave one biscuit to me. And I took it as prasadam. And it was little big size. So, half I put it in the mouth, the remaining half I was having in the hand. I was looking at him, gazing at him, enjoying his graceful way of standing with the remaining half in the hand. One dog just picked up that and ate that. He did not talk much, but I tell you, even now I can remember very clearly how graceful he was. Then after that, slowly little bit of friendliness started. The way the Aghoris live. Once I asked him, after a few days, after that whenever I see him, I'll touch his feet and I'll carry little biscuits also. Whenever I see him, I'll first give that to him so that he can give it to all his dogs. Once I asked him, Baba, why are you covering your whole face with the ash? He said, no, otherwise people will recognize. Not letting people to see that skin radiating light. So whenever I see him, I'll take the biscuits from house. My father had a supermarket. So I'll take one biscuit packet and give it to all the dogs. Because the dog took away half biscuit from my hand. I asked that sadhu one day, Baba, why did this dog take away the biscuit from my hand, half biscuit which you gave? He said, hey, he's Kala Bhairava. He pulled my blanket and showed you my Swarupa. He has taken his Guru Dakshina. Keep quiet. Yes, made you see my Swarupa. So he has taken his Guru Dakshina. It's okay. Aghoris are the most beautiful, sensitive, blissful, innocent people I have ever seen in my life. No Vedanti, no Siddhanti, no Sakta, no Vaishnava can claim to the sensitive glory and innocence Aghoris radiate, because their tapas is so strong. They don't let single pattern live inside them. They are wild when they fight with their pattern. That is why they are so beautiful and sensitive in their life. Aghoris are the people live like a child, living liberated life, innocent life. Janumabandha vinirmuktaha padam gacchantyanāmayam. Free yourself from the bondage and reach the state of supreme well-being. There's one more reference from the Vedic literature. Jivanta eva janumabandha vinirmuktaha santah patam paramam Vishnor mokshakyam gacchantyanāmayam sarvopatrava rahitam. Even when alive, they are released from the bond of birth and go to the highest state of sarvavyapa, Vishnu, called moksha or liberation, which is free from all evil. Liberation is the highest state. It is not and it cannot be equated to the heaven and hell described in Western religions. See, the heaven and hell described in Western religions can be equated to our Swarga and Naraka in Vedic tradition. But moksha is beyond heaven or hell. It is liberation, which is free from all evil, free from all dualities. That is moksha. Understand, if you are addicted, if you were addicted in the past heavily for smoking and drinking and you are liberated, you are out of that pattern, how you feel? Wow! No expense at the expense of my life. Alcohol and tobacco, all these addictions are expense at the expense of your life. It is not only expense, it is expense at the expense of your life. You spend your life to make money and buy alcohol and spend the remaining time to the alcohol. I can say this is the greatest tyaga. You pay half of your time, 8 hours to the government office and get the salary. And in evening, go to the government Tasmak shop, give that money and take the alcohol. Offer your remaining life to the alcohol, sacrifice it. What kind of a pattern? If you are liberated from it, you know how great this freedom is. And all your old friends, when you talk to them, when you see them, you will see, you will understand how still they are suffering in bondage and not even bothered to get liberated. If they ask, what is the need to get out of this alcohol habit? It's all going well and great. How you will feel? Exactly same way I feel when people ask me, what's the need to get out of the birth and death cycle? Only when you are free from the pattern, you will understand how much joy it adds to you. Same way, only a liberated person who is liberated from the pattern of birth and death will know the joy of liberation. I tell you, the worst, strongest pattern with which you are suffering is habit of taking birth and dying. Birth and death is the most strongest pattern with which you are suffering. Here, Bhagavan is giving powerful technique, very powerful technique. Now only I am entering into the technique. Please understand, catch the technique. A living enlightened being performs the action in an unclutched way. Through this, he sets himself free from the bondage of birth and death and reaches the space of Nithyananda, eternal bliss. Understand? I am translating this verse. Living enlightened ones, surrendering all the results of all their actions into their Anandagandha and performing all their actions in unclutched way, liberate themselves from the bondage of birth and death, reach the state of eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Your Anandagandha is the alive energy where all the good and bad can disappear. Your pain can disappear into Anandagandha. Your pleasure can disappear into Anandagandha. Anandagandha is more powerful pleasure than any pleasure you can experience in the life. Your pleasure, your pain, surrender everything to Anandagandha. And always be unclutched. That is the technique, sacred secret from this verse. Now I will answer live questions. She is saying, Nithyanandam Swamiji, how can tapas, which is also series of actions, liberate us from actions and their consequences? See, you coming inside this room is an action. You going out of this room is also going to be an action. Can you say, how can the action of me walking out of this room is going to free me once for all from all the bondages of this room? After all, that is also an action. How can it free me? Arey, your bondage, you brought it by action. So only by the series of action, your liberation also will happen. Because you brought your bondage on you through actions, your liberation also will happen only through actions. Next, he is asking, I enjoyed the state of being during LVP. What do you recommend that I continue doing when I go back to my regular life to maintain that state of being? I can give you two things. One, try your best on your own to practice unclutching. Second, try your best to attend this satsang as many times as possible, either through NTV or coming to the temple. These two will make the state of being established in you. Please understand, the state of being which you got is like a lamp lit in your heart. Safeguard it. See, if it becomes a wildfire, nothing can put it off. Any amount of air blown, it will only increase the fire. But in the initial level, if it is just a lamp, a small breeze can blow it away. Now, you only got a small lamp in your heart. Only the transmission of lamp has happened. Don't allow the breeze of the society and humanity blow it away. Blow this lamp away. By this satsang and nissang. Unclutching is nissanga. Attending this satsanga is satsanga. By the satsanga and nissanga, awaken this fire intensely. Once it becomes a wildfire, then your regular life cannot take away the state of being from you. You will be able to maintain that state of being.
Nithyanandam, thank you for watching, and if you found the video enlightening,
please give it a like, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to stay connected with us.
Don't forget to click the bell icon to receive the notifications.